Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Most Excellent 80s Movies Podcast. Want to skip those ads and get early access? Become a member at truestory.fm/join and discover all the other great perks that come with it. Welcome to the Most Excellent 80s Movies Podcast. It's the podcast where a filmmaker, a comedian, and their fabulous guests travel through time to solve the problems of the movies of the 80s that we think we love or might have missed with these our modern eyes. And today we're talking about Masters of the Universe, a movie selection from 1987, about which Letterboxd says, "A battle fought in the stars now comes to Earth. When the evil Skeletor finds a mysterious power called the Cosmic Key, he becomes nearly invincible, seizing Castle Grayskull and the surrounding city. The sorceress is now Skeletor's prisoner, and he begins to drain her life force as he waits for the moon of Eternia to align with the great eye of the universe, which will bestow godlike power upon him. However, courageous warrior He-Man locates the locksmith inventor Gwildor, who created the key and has another version of it. During a battle, one of the keys is transported to Earth, where it's found by teenagers Julie and Kevin. Now both He-Man and Skeletor's forces arrive on Earth searching for the potent weapon." I don't know, Nathan. Is that better or worse than the Google descriptions?
It's a better, longer description.
Okay, yeah.
So we still need to find a happy medium, yeah.
Yes, we do. All right, here comes the trailer.
There is a place where legends are born, where the light confronts the dark, a world of incredible mystery, magic, and adventure, a world where colossal powers will collide in a battle to control the universe. The place is Earth. The time is now. Masters of the Universe. Dolph Lundgren is He-Man. Franklin Langella is Skeletor. And Meg Foster is Evil Lynn. Masters of the Universe. Coming to Earth this summer.
Live the adventure.
That's a pretty accurate trailer to the experience of the film, I think.
I don't know. The trailer did not have nearly as much Gwildor as the film did.
That's true.
There's no Gwildor in the trailer.
They decided to keep that out of the marketing, yeah.
All my notes are how much I hate Gwildor entirely.
Oh no!
That's okay.
I found him
That's
charming.
Okay. Uh-huh.
All right, I'm Krissy, Lenz, one of the directors at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona. And with me, as always, is
Nathan Blackwell, independent filmmaker. Hi.
Hi. And joining us today, we have a real treat for you, gentle listeners, because we have not one, but two fabulous guests for a movie as epic as Masters of the Universe, which we've been threatening to review on this podcast for years.
Threatening.
We have two guests. The first is a performer at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater and the current producer director of the musical catering company, which performs at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater. It's Jordan Collier.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. We're so happy to have you.
Yes, excited to be here.
and also one of the producers of a new hit stand-up comedy show called Rolled for Charisma, which fuses the fun of D&D and the chaos of stand-up comedy into one ultra exciting show. It's Mr. Derrick Tesson.
Hello.
Yay! That sounds
Yeah,
great.
it's a fun one. We had a show last night, and I'm currently in pain from it with how active that show is.
It's very active and exciting, and I highly recommend it. And at the end, we'll have you tell everybody how they can follow you and find out more, and possibly come see a show. But for now, we have to talk about Masters of the Universe.
God.
The final episode of the podcast finally comes to this, right? If we had planned it, yeah. No, it's not the final episode, but it is a movie that we, at least behind the scenes, been threatening to do for a long time, since the beginning.
Since the very beginning, and we just
Yeah.
kept putting it off. But now it's on Amazon Prime. It's free. You can watch it if you have Amazon Prime. So it
Mhm.
became very clear very fast that the time is upon us to talk
time is
about
now.
Masters of the Universe. Had any of you seen it before?
I have not. This is my first time watching it. Jordan and I had a lovely dinner and watched the film together. It was great.
We did. It was very romantic. It was very
The experience was fantastic. The film, not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
I-
about you, Nathan?
So that's a good tagline for like the movie poster. The experience is fantastic. The movie, not so much.
Yeah, but that only counts if you're having smothered burritos with Jordan.
Right. So this is one of those movies that, for whatever reason, we've got like some of those like campy
Mhm.
C-level movies that we just end up, for whatever reason, growing up on and seeing like 100 times. This was that for me.
Oh.
Don't worry, gentlemen, you can't hurt my feelings, because I probably agree with everything you'll say.
Okay.
Yeah, my enjoyment of this movie is purely on a camp level, like, you know, and a nostalgia level. So I enjoy it for what it is, flaws and all. Again, don't feel like you've got to hold back. This will never make my top 100 movies of all time,
No.
but it's one that I find a particular level of enjoyment for.
top 500 maybe.
Yeah, definitely top
Yeah, top
500. Come on. Gotta be. I think this movie should have been good. It has all the ingredients of a good movie, and it just never the dough never makes bread, like
Right. Well, you have to understand that it's a Canon Films, so Canon Films, they did like Ninja the Domination and Delta Force, like,
which I loved. Delta Force is amazing.
and so they made these super B-level movies, and towards the end of Canon Films, like filmography, they tried to go really big with a couple of big budget movies, and just really, like, so these movies are also notorious flops. So this was Superman 4: The Quest for Peace, terrible movie, and then also Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. It's like, this is going to be our opportunity. We're going to do these big movies, except their storytelling and business sense didn't evolve. Like, if anything, it's like, we're going to make these $10 million movies, but we're going to make them for $4 million. We're just going to cut the corners, and they're not going to know we make low budget films.
Yeah, well, the budget on this one was like, what, 22 million? And I think it Canon Films' last movie before they shut down?
It certainly could be.
Yeah,
They were
it's
like, no more after this. We've told our stories, friends. It's time for us to go.
We finally told our final story. Yeah.
yeah, like 5 minutes into this, as I'm sitting there watching it, I'm like, oh, it's trying to be a Star War,
Yeah.
Star Wars.
but with black stormtroopers and a white villain.
hmm It's definitely trying to be a Star Wars for sure.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
it has humor. It has like battles. It
Shakespearean dialogue.
It does. Franklin Langella as Skeletor is really selling it. Like he's
Yeah.
he's in a movie that no one else is in.
Honestly, like if it wasn't for Frank Langella, this would not be one of those movies for me at all. You know, it's all Dolph Lundgren, God bless his heart, didn't speak really any English at this point. He was Swedish. Did a much better job than Van Damme, who had been doing English movies for like 10 years, you know. But it's really Frank Langella as Skeletor. So I will go on record saying that his villain performance as Skeletor is one of my favorite villains, in terms of just as kind of like a scenery chewing, and then really just the performance. Like he sells the crap out of it and he's going for it, and you don't feel like he got, like he's doing it because he got divorced or something and needs the money or needs a swimming pool.
He definitely like has a lot of really intense direct to camera dialogue that happens. And like the first scene going into this movie in Castle Gray, or what is it, Castle Grayskull that they're in?
Right? Yeah.
I know nothing about He-Man going into this outside of like the CKY 2K like
right
He-Man Beast, or the Skeletor Beastman music video that they made. So it's like that's my knowledge of He-Man. So I assume Castle Grayskull is where Skeletor lived, not where the Sorceress and He-Man lived. But yeah, that first scene was very like it looked like it was a play. You're watching a play with like how it was all shot, because there's so many just like weird angles that look like you're just in the audience watching a stage play in that first scene, which was very weird to me.
So I grew up on the He-Man toys, which is probably the reason why I got my mom to rent this movie in the first place. So there are different, so like there's the He-Man toys, and then there was the He-Man cartoon. So there was a lot of stuff that weren't in the toys that were in the cartoon, and then there's so much that was in either of them that's not in the movie. They just kind of like they just kind of picked the stuff they liked. Like there's no laser guns in like in He-Man in like the toys or cartoon. That's their Star Warsification of it.
Yeah, that was.
They turned it into
so
sci-fi. Yeah, they really were. He-Man really started off as kind of Conan is big, so let's do kind of a medieval fantasy mythology kind of thing. Castle Grayskull, you got two different sides. And the whole idea with the toys is that like each villain had like a big gimmick to get the kid to buy the toy. It's like, this guy switches heads, or this guy has like a robot arm you can attach different stuff, or like this bad guy, squirts water,
If you rotate the waist, he punches.
Right. Yeah. And it was very much kind of like Conan / it was like, they're of the bird people. And so they're like the king of the bird people, but Skeletor has made them a minion, or whatever. So the thing of like having those like Beastman and Cobra guy and Blade of the Blade people, like that is He-Man. Yeah.
Love Blade.
You love Blade, Jordan?
Oh, big Blade guy. As soon as he appeared, I'm like, he's it. It's it. So ridiculous.
I did think it was such a weird juxtaposition to see He-Man battling with a sword and a laser gun. It's like these things could not be two more different like fighting styles. Are we doing swords or are we doing laser guns? Like, we
He-Man
can't
does
do
everything.
both, but apparently, yeah, He-Man does everything. But He-Man is, for being, I mean, he's not the title character. It's called Masters of the Universe, not He-Man on the Masters of the
Right.
Universe. But
He
he has
shares
very
billing.
little to
Yeah.
do.
No.
He does almost nothing.
That's
He
what
really
Derrick and I
doesn't.
said the
It's
whole
a
time.
Gwildor movie. He's the central, like, his stuff is the central conflict of it. Everything's kind of revolving around Gwildor, and for a character who's supposed to be
the
comic
heart of the
relief,
story too. Yeah.
Yep.
he's supposed to be comic relief, but I think has the most screen time of anyone else.
He-Man is basically his bodyguard.
Yeah. It's like maybe what's his name? Courtney Cox's boyfriend might have a little bit more screen time. Kevin. Kevin and Julie? Is her name?
Julie, yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
There you go. Yeah.
I just
But
wrote
yeah.
down Courtney Cox throughout all my notes.
That's what I did too. I did Seacox.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was referring to them as the actors' names of the upcoming 2026 Masters of the Universe movie. So anytime Skeletor was on screen, I'm like, oh, Jared Leto's here. Or anytime Evil Lynn was on, I'm like, oh, Allison Brie. Okay, so.
Oh my gosh. Is that a live action or an animated?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's a live action.
Oh my goodness.
From the very little research I did on it.
Jesus. Uh-huh. Jeez,
and then, who was it? It was
Idris Elba, right?
Idris Elba is playing Man at Arms in the 2026 one.
Which has got to be a stage name. That can't be like his birth name, right?
Man of Arms.
He wasn't a man when he was born. He was a baby. Right. Was he called Baby at Arms?
Right.
Infant for Arms.
So yeah, the movie starts out with like an info dump that like truly had me baffled. And I take extensive notes, but I was like, what on earth is happening here? And like, it was rather like a play, because it just like Skeletor sashaying about the place, being like, I've taken over and you are captured, and soon as the moon goes here, I'm gonna have your power. And I was just like, slow down, buddy. This is too much information for me to take in right now.
Obviously part 2, we're what they call media in res, right? We're starting in the middle of action. The sorceress has already been captured on matte painting world. And then the heroes basically are in like the third act of their adventure, you know. They've gone through this whole thing that Skeletor has already taken over.
Yeah, but it was a little too top heavy for me, and I was just like, there's no way I can remember all this. Let's just get to the fighting. So He-Man finally shows up. It's Dolph Lundgren, who my son Rocket is a huge fan of.
Oh,
just
really?
A huge fan.
He's an interesting guy. He is interesting.
Yeah, your son is an interesting guy.
Yeah. Like, I understand. You have to understand that he did this movie not being able to. He was not fluent in English at all for this movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and is that why they dubbed all his lines?
Well, so here's the thing. He dubbed his lines. He had it contractually that he could get 3 attempts to do it himself in terms of the dubbing. And again, just imagine if you had to make a movie in Swedish. And so he did the movie in real life, and then he got those 3 attempts to do his own voice, and they finally kept his voice, probably because they were just out of time to replace it. But yeah, so he dubbed his own voice. It does sound ADR'd, but it's him.
Yeah, it makes so much sense now. Yeah,
there are a lot of non-Dolph Lundgren ADR lines going throughout this movie too, though. And it's it throws you off. Like when Skeletor's spoiler alert for the end of this movie, but I don't think you need a spoiler alert if you're listening to this podcast right now. As Skeletor's falling, not screaming, and it has like the Wilhelm scream thing happening. It was, and like when like Courtney Cox and Kevin were hugging, they had like lines that were ADR'd over. So it's like there's plenty of like dialogue that goes in when there's no dialogue happening during the recording of it.
Well, there's so much friggin' plot. There's so much to explain. Like, there's so much happening at any moment in this movie. Does not suffer from a lack of plot. There's B, C, D, E plots. there's Courtney Cox's whole thing where her parents are dead and she wants to move to New Jersey to leave her boyfriend, who she still loves very deeply, behind.
I love that dream for her. Straight to Jersey.
Right? If you can make it in Jersey, you can make it anywhere. That's what they say, right?
She's a realist.
Yeah. She gets it.
Her parents died in a plane crash, and like that's a sad fact that we're reminded of throughout the movie.
That she blames herself for.
Yeah. And we realized that it was her dad who was flying. Like it was so it really is like,
her Unabomber father. He had the big old Unabomber glasses at the end of that film.
Fun fact,
1987.
Yeah.
Her mom is played by Chris Pine's real mom.
Oh. No way.
Yeah, there are a lot of funny Star Trek connections with this movie.
Of course there are. So we need to talk a little bit about Gwildor.
We need to talk a lot about Gwildor.
Yeah, so Billy Barty, which you've probably seen in like things like Willow and movies.
Yeah. So with this character, this character was designed specifically for this film. Did not exist in the Masters of the universe prior. And he was their comic relief to replace Orko from the cartoons, because Orko was too hard to make work. And it's like what gets me with like comic relief characters, I enjoy a good comic relief character, but when the characters in the film acknowledge it as comic relief as well, because there's so many lines where people are laughing at Gwildor for his mere existence, that I'm like, why? Like, come on! I don't need to hear fake laughs about this character right now.
I feel like the Eterniums are like they come off as very enlightened, but they're still kind of racist.
Like, and I didn't need to see Gwildor attempt to talk to a cow. Cow's cute. I love a cow. Gwildor going over his arm. I communicate with it. And just like, everything about Gwildor just bothered me.
Another thing with Gwildor is that he looks like he's melting all the time, and you feel terrible for Billy Barty inside.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
the makeup was not incredible.
It was very textured.
Exactly. Okay, so basically, they can't afford to be in He-Man land in matte painting world for too long. That's why they get portal jumped to our time, and so they could have the sci-fi people running around in modern day, small town California, and honestly,
out in the middle of the desert as well when we first meet He-Man.
Right, exactly. And so the idea is that they've got to get this the what is it called? The key
Cosmic Key.
The Cosmic Key. I'm the one who's seen it 100 times. Look, I obviously don't care about the details. They've got to get the Cosmic Key because Skeletor has one of those. Gwildor made a copy, and that's going to be the thing that can get them to get back home and stop the bad guys, because they're draining the sorceress's powers to become masters of the universe. Basically, Castle Grayskull is where you can receive the powers of the universe and become kind of godly.
Yeah. Oh, okay. For anyone who hasn't watched this film and is listening to this right now, Gwildor, picture Jar Jar Binks was the catalyst of all of the events of the film, and was the thing that helped solve the problems of the film as well. So he created the problem. He also created the solution as well. And he is obnoxious.
He's the only one. Yeah. And he's the only one trying to fix it, trying to get them on task, trying to, use the device. And then everyone else is basically fighting amongst each other or acting as security.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's
trying to protect him. Yep.
Yeah.
I had such a problem with Courtney Cox though, because she was like friend to He-Man, because she gets caught up in the battle, and He-Man's like, I will save you, wear my cape. And then from there on out, she's just the most useless, helpless being who only exists in the story to be threatened and hurt.
Or tricked, because she got
oh yeah. She
very
was
easily tricked.
She turned on them so quickly.
Yeah, that was so fast.
Yeah, Evil Lynn impersonated her mom, who is dead. And she immediately buys into it, and it's like, oh yes, I will steal for you. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, just general knowledge.
She's immediately like, they took the key. She took the key, and it was like, no, bitch, you gave it to her.
Just generally, if
blame my
dead
boyfriend
parent comes to you and says, "Oh, I had to go off in secret. Sorry about this," don't trust it. Maybe.
Yeah, that's only true for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were a lot of like weird parts of this movie. But one of my favorite things is that the principal from Back to the Future has a role in this movie. Principal Strickland is in this movie as Lachlan, the cop.
Ludic?
Lubick. He's basically playing himself. You realize that he's playing the same character effectively in both movies. And it's funny. It's like they literally opened a portal and stole a character from another movie.
They did.
Yeah, Lubick was my second least favorite character in this film.
No, he was my very favorite. I loved him.
He was the most useless cop.
He would always be I also enjoyed him, but also recognized that he was a terrible obstruction at all times.
Oh yeah.
He said no one messes with Lubick, and everyone messed with Lubick. He did nothing constructive.
But at the end, for no reason, he decides to stay in Eternia and be a king with a girlfriend who he's like...
And they're like, wait. He's like, so we're jumping to the end, but basically like the good guys win, and spoiler, and then he's sitting there like dressed like royalty, and he's got a woman, and how much time has passed? Like 4 hours,
Yeah, exactly. And he's like,
I got a castle, I got a woman. What do you know? It's like, what more? It's like, wait a minute, no, you don't get the castle.
Yeah, what's the political system like in Eternia?
Yeah. You can't stay at Castle Grayskull. Like, we'll find you a cottage or something.
Like, they have a way to astral project messages to the masses in the middle of a desert, apparently. So it's like, okay, it doesn't look like the city was entirely built up around the castle. So it's like, okay, this is going to be me going against people who are in power now at this point. So it's like, okay, so the rulers of Eternia are really just keeping everything to themselves, and Lubick's for some reason getting a piece of that pie at the end.
We just really
I loved it.
Favors for loyalty, huh?
Yeah, there you go.
I also me in my notes I kept making note of like how free and easy Kevin was with pushing that red button on the front of the key. He was just like, yeah, push the button.
Showing everyone.
It does this. It does this. It does this.
So he would press the key thing, which is like the size of a blender, but a bunch of buttons all around it, and it would spin at the top. But basically, he'd press the red button, and then there would be glowing energy above them. And I really loved every time they did that, because I was always so fascinated to see how well the actors would look at the same spot or not, because they're just like, they have no reference to look at, especially in 80s movies. It's always fun to see like where the eye lines are for the visual effects, because they're so confused about where they're supposed to be looking, and how they're gauging their reaction to it. Some are like, "Wow, that's
a filmmaker-y thing, Nathan."
But
I will get into that in my deep cut.
Yeah.
Okay. But then at the end, he's like, "I memorized the song that plays when you hit the red button," and I was like, "Oh, so it's good that he hit the red button over and over."
Yeah, he's got the tones at the end, right?
Right.
He's got the tones
because he's a master sound maker.
Yes.
Yeah, that was another thing. Like Glindor mentioned that, like, oh, music's really important, blah, 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 blah. And like, that was 20, 30 minutes prior to him being like, yeah, I do music. I recognize this thing. It's like, did you not make that connection when you were next to each other and him talking about how music is essentially the way to travel? Like, this was discussed in the music shop. Like, you were, or if not earlier. I think it was actually before the music shop that I already forgot his name. I'm so mad at him.
Gildor.
I couldn't remember if it was a GW or GL. But it's like he mentions it like a couple times prior to the like, oh, we need music to be able to get us back.
Yeah, but Kevin is still has that moment of like refusing the call. He's like, oh, my girlfriend is dying. The world is on fire. Eternia is going to end, but I'm no master sound maker. I'm just Kevin. I can't help you. And it's like, would you shut up and just play the chords? Like,
Just do it.
just do it.
I recognize these chords, but I'm not the best musician.
Yeah, so and they're amazed that he's able to remember this. And so are all Eternians like tone deaf? Like, is that a thing that is native to humans? Because
the guy at the music store did say, "Oh, Mr. Perfect Pitch."
Yeah, those Chekhov's notes, man.
Yeah.
And what also drives me insane about Gwildor, everything I'm gonna be mad at is just a root cause of him, is him being like, oh, I don't remember the tones, how to get home. But then at the end of the film, he's like, oh, you want to go back, 2 years from the date that we got you? Fine, sent you to a location that I know nothing about. I somehow know these tones.
We never established the fact that it controls time at all. Like, it was just always space. Like, they were able to go to any planet at any time. And it's not until it became story convenient that time was involved, like at the very last 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Because couldn't they've traveled before Skeletor took over Castle Grayskull?
And there's a time loop that has happened in this film, but they don't show it because as Courtney Cox is turning around to say, hey, wait, and then travels off, Gwildor didn't hear what she wanted, so he had to have brought her back. He's like, okay, what were you trying to tell me? This? Okay, fine, we're going to send you a year earlier. So there's a time loop that was just cut because there's no way Gwildor knew that she wanted in her heart to go back before her parents, kick the bucket.
Because she doesn't ask for it. He's like, I can send you back in time. And she's like, there's no need. And he's like,
until right before the portal flashes. And she's like, wait a minute, Gwildor. And then flash.
Yeah, he just wanted to surprise her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprise.
He's going to love this.
What if she hated it?
Yeah.
Damn it, Gwildor.
I was going to Jersey, Gwildor.
I had a whole house to myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just attacks her mom because she thinks it's Evil Lynn again.
I also love that in her house where she was moving away this night, on the night that this all happens, she was moving to New Jersey. Her house is hardly packed up at all.
Oh yeah, full furniture.
And she left behind the article about her parents dying and a picture of them all together. She's like, don't need this in Jersey. So long, suckers. She just left that stuff behind. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention to if they had any type of reference of time frame from when her parents passed to now, because I know they had the headstones, but I didn't pay attention to when did they pass versus when the current setting is.
Well, Gwildor figured it out.
Right.
Yeah, he figured it out.
Yeah, pieced it together.
There's still so much I want to say. Why are there no people in this city? Why are there no people in this city? Skeletor, there's the guy who runs the music shop. There's Lubick and his
3 cops that show up at the end.
3 cops. But when Skeletor
is taking over the city and our dimension, there's literally no people.
There's
the
no
marching
the
down the street was weird. Like Evil Lynn was in a scene somewhere else, and then the next scene she's marching in front of Skeletor with I want to say Krang, but that's not right. Karg.
Yes, you're right. I wanted to talk about Karg because I love everything about what's going on there.
Tell us.
Go
Tell
for
us
it. Go
everything
for
you
it.
love.
The spotlight's on you.
It's like an orc with a perm. It's like the design is just it's so great and so awful at the same time. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Like I just love that's what they went with. They saw that costume and they were like, perfect.
Yeah. No notes.
No notes.
I can't remember his name. Not Beastman, not Blade, not Karg, but the fourth one, the one who Skeletor zaps to death, who did nothing wrong. Like he was the most innocent of all of them.
Justice for Snake Guy.
Yeah.
Zurog. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like we don't want their talents to be wasted. It's like, come on.
And I loved Skeletor's mask. Like we talked about for how good Frank Langella is as Skeletor, but like his mask, the makeup is actually pretty good except for the nose.
Yes.
Yeah, it's tough because it's got to be a skeleton nose, which is, no cartilage. And so they're basically hiding the point of the nose with like black makeup.
Yeah, it reminded me of like a Halloween costume, just like the very much. Yeah. Like a hood or something.
Here's one of the fun Star Trek references. That mask appears again in Star Trek: The Next Generation. They just, for whatever reason, they reused it. When Worf fights, like, has a combat training program in the holodeck, the skull, there's like a white skull head guy. I was like, oh, that guy looks cool. And I never pieced it together until I read the trivia. So that's the Skeletor mask.
I love it.
Huh.
I also love the part where He-Man is sky surfing.
That was...
I loved it.
They're like standing, but they're also trying to sit at the same time. So like on a standing platform, but like in a weird like sitting pose.
My core. Yeah. The thing that's so funny about the Canon films is that this is a sci-fi movie made by people who don't know or like sci-fi. And so they're saying, oh yeah, let's give them a big disc, or we'll have them have swords and laser guns. We'll give them this outfit. Like they're not making this for sci-fi fans per se. They're coming up with their own weird stuff. At least the people at the top.
Knowledge of sci-fi.
Yeah,
so they just go for
I have a feeling like the product, like I'm talking about like the heads of the studio. Like I have a feeling like the director and like some of the production people, they wanted to do something cool, but it was like, no, this is good. Just do this instead. From Golan and Globus, from the Canon Films guys, like I never got the sense that even with like super, like when they also did Superman 4, like they understood Superman at all.
Right. Yeah. And they didn't really understand He-Man as being like a product for kids.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't a kids movie. Like
no, not at all.
The series was made to sell the toys. Like that's why He-Man was made, was to sell the toys.
Right. Yeah, they haven't done He-Man so dirty because He-Man itself was a 30-minute commercial for toys,
Right.
Yeah.
But I think Dolph Lundgren was beautifully cast. He is a beautiful man. He did his best, even though he is not the star of this movie whatsoever.
Hey, Derrick, who's the star? Who's the star, Derrick?
It's Gwildor.
It's Gwildor.
Who's the villain, Derrick?
Also Gwildor.
But yeah, like I tried to get Rocket to watch this movie with me, because he's a big Dolph Lundgren guy. He's a big Drago guy.
Like most 16-year-olds, yep.
He just wanted to tell me facts about Dolph Lundgren and then leave the room. He wanted no part of Masters of the Universe.
Why does your son know so much about Dolph Lundgren?
Because he loves Ivan Drago
Oh.
from
Oh.
Rocky 4.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
We're gonna. I'm
We
gonna
gotta
put your
unpack
son
that.
on a list.
We've got to unpack that.
He would just come in and say, "Mom, is your movie still on?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, it has like 20
It's your
more minutes,
movie
babe."
too.
Yeah.
It's your movie
Yeah.
too, Rocket.
He would say, "Do you know Dolph Lundgren's a genius and he has like 8 degrees and like he's a doctor of science and medicine?" And I was like, "Okay, thanks,
I
Rocky."
do
All right,
now.
so 25 minutes, Mom.
Yeah. This movie was definitely longer than it needed to be. Like I paused it a lot. I paused it a lot and walked away. And then, had to come back and be like, how is there still 40 minutes left of this movie?
See, I
What?
didn't pause it because if I would have paused it, I wouldn't have continued watching it.
Yeah, we just had to just let it happen to us.
Just power through.
Just submit.
Yep.
All right. Who has something in their notes we haven't talked about yet?
All right. I feel like let's see.
There is one line of dialogue, and the IMDb page that has this as like one of their only quotes that are on there. But when Skeletor, as he's like about to defeat He-Man before he just falls into a pit, that like tell me that the loneliness of good He-Man is equal to the loneliness of evil. It's like, oh,
that's so good.
Skeletor.
There's some good lines in this.
Who hurt you?
Yeah.
Who hurt you? I could fix them.
Yeah.
I read that Franklin Langella wrote that line.
That's
Wait,
great.
really? That's crazy.
He also has a Shakespeare quote in the movie. I forget what it is. But one of my favorite lines, I wrote this down, was Beast Man, full force attack at my command.
It's
one.
like a little haiku.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Gwildor at the very beginning. He says, "I don't like adventures."
Yeah. Thank you for
It was like
that.
It was like right before they go through the portal or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like
it was.
Like we're getting all the exposition, we're setting things up, and he just takes the wind out of the sails.
He's a Bilbo Baggins. Yeah.
Oh, or when Evil Lynn's like, "Oh, Grayskull's ours," and the Skeletor's like, "No, mine." It's like, "Ooh, damn, someone's not a team player."
Ooh, yeah.
Yep. I also love that Gwildor, when he first is inviting them over to the house, he's like unlocking his door and he's like, "Remember when we used to not lock our doors? We'll get back there someday." And I was just like,
Gwildor.
Gwildor.
The one thing I do like about Gwildor is, and it was only Kevin and Lubick who were both like, what the hell's this thing? Like, it was the scene where he's like, we're wearing the local clothing, so no one will recognize us.
Right, he's dressed like E.T. Yeah, he's dressed like E.T. when they put
the
like
checker glasses on, and
and
then Lubick was like, "What the hell's that?" It's like, yeah, that should have been the reaction of everyone who saw Gwildor
for the whole movie.
Who had one of those like large orange like orangutan faces, where it's kind of like.
And at the end, when they're all in their Eternia finery, he's got little bows in his
mane. Yeah, his like his like the Star Wars award ceremony look.
Yeah, where he's got the look on his face, where the look on his face is just saying, "I'm a silly guy, and I know I'm a silly guy, and I hate it. I hate it so much. I am irrationally angry at Gwildor." And all of his choices.
You got to give over to the silliness.
Also, when he transitioned the car from being a rudimentary internal combustion to Eternia magic, where did he get parts that has Eternia language on it?
Mm-hmm. That's the biggest plot hole in this movie.
It is for sure.
I also like how they just threw out random sci-fi terms that had no like, "Oh, we just need a displacement regulator." "Oh, I got one." "Oh, we need a parsec generator." "Oh, I got one of those here." It's like
I wrote that down. That was one of my quotes. If I can find it, yeah. I had to go back and like get those lines verbatim because they were wonderful. Let's see if I can find them.
Who is Duncan?
Man at Arms.
Okay. So I'm going through quotes right now, and they refer to him as Duncan. I'm like, who the hell's Duncan?
So the actress who played the sorcerer, her name was Christina Pickles.
Yeah, she's Monica. So it's a Friends tie-in. She's Monica and Ross's mom on Friends.
Oh, that's
Oh,
funny.
Hey, oh
Yeah.
wow.
The one thing cinematically, like in terms of just set design, that I did like is when they were doing the portal key to get back to Grayskull. And it was like, since it wasn't like the portal key that was creating a portal, but it did an orb where it took the scenery with them.
Yeah,
and it
it
cut
took the
like that
whole
perfect
set.
orb of scenery.
Mhm.
I thought that was cool. I did enjoy
I thought
that
that was
bit of set
hilarious.
design. It would have been great if
loved it.
Wildor wasn't there when it happened.
But Lubick is there, and that's how he gets to
He's got it.
Eternia. So on a scale of 1 cosmic key to 10 cosmic keys, how many cosmic keys do we give Masters of the Universe?
It was
You wanna-
bad,
you wanna-
Go for it, Derrick.
but not so bad that it's good.
Right.
I mean, it's like a 3 to 4 for me.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay. 3 to 4. My goodness, not
I
very many
watched it
cosmic keys.
Twice.
You did. And you're gonna have to watch it a third time just to be sure you don't like it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch it right before I watch the 2026 Masters of the Universe.
There you
film.
go. There you go.
Yeah,
For
you gotta
academic
prep.
reasons.
I would give it. I'm a little higher than Derrick. I gave it 5 cosmic keys
Okay.
because
And what's your
I was-
reasoning?
'cause there was entertaining pockets of it, and I did enjoy elements of it. But as you said before, there's just so much going on. It's confusing. It's not something that I will revisit because it's so bad it's good. But
Mhm.
I was entertained in some parts.
Yeah, I think that's fair. For
Yeah.
sure. So Nathan, this is a childhood favorite of yours. What do you
Okay,
rate it?
so I'm doing it on nostalgic personal entertainment. This is not a objective opinion on it. Like if
Okay.
I was going to be objective in terms of the quality of the movie, like if I had like an amnesia episode and then had to rewatch it, I would go, what the fuck is this movie? And
Yeah.
give it something way lower, but I'm going to give it a 7. I'm sorry. It again, this is not one of my top 100 films, but it's just tied to a silliness of one of those movies that you saw, like Beastmaster or whatever, or even Buckaroo Banzai, like that doesn't make any sense to most people, but just because it got programmed early in your brain.
Yeah.
Like the stuff I remember and the stuff I like has very little to do with the story or the dialogue. It's the general silliness and setting of it, and really Frank Langella.
Yeah, he's great. He's
He's
great.
the best part.
Yeah. All right.
So, excellent. So I'm gonna go right in between you guys. So we're gonna cover all the bases. We're gonna have 3, 4, 5, 6. For
Okay.
me, and 7 from Nathan. So I give it a 6 because I really thought this should have been a good movie. Like if they had given a better editor another pass, I think there's a good movie in here. They just couldn't dust
If there was
off
less
enough.
movie, if there was
significantly less movie, it would have been much, much better. Yes, I agree. Less movie it just needed to be chiseled out a little bit more. So I give it a 6. But I didn't have a bad time when I was watching it. The number of times that I paused it and was just like, good Lord, there's so much left. Aside, I was like, okay, all right, let's.
Where are they going to take this for 45 more minutes? Yeah.
40 more minutes.
How can
40
they?
more minutes?
Let's see what Eternia has to say about this. Also, what was the significance of the little ball of Eternia she had at the end? Like,
I think they were trying to, because there's originally a sequel planned for this movie.
Ew.
So that might have tied into what
This
the
was
sequel
one of those,
would end
yeah.
up being.
Before
They're
they
trying to set
even
it up.
made the first one, they said there's going to be a sequel to this. You know, this is them trying to manufacture a franchise.
That's that Star Wars brain again, thinking that they're going to have a trilogy.
Right.
Yep. All right, so let's talk about deep cut recommendations. That's my new theme song for it. What can we recommend based on liking this movie or experiencing this movie? Not necessarily liking it, but experiencing this movie. You should also experience what, Derrick?
The episode of Community, Intro to Recycled Cinema. If you love Gwildor, they got Garrett playing Glip Glop, which he has a tennis ball at the end of the stick, and there was do we look at Garrett? Do we look at the tennis ball? It's like, why would I be holding the tennis ball if you were looking at? But his voice exactly the same as Gwildor's, but it's just a little green alien guy with boxing gloves that's doing this, going zabu zabu. It's just like, so yeah, if you enjoy this movie, you would unironically enjoy the episode Intro to Recycled Cinema, because it's similar production value.
Excellent. And that's an episode of Community?
Yes.
Do you know what season or episode number
it is? Season 6, episode number 8.
I need to go back and watch that. Making a note.
Make a note. What about you, Jordan? What is your deep cut recommendation?
As I said before, I'm not sure how deep cut this is, but I recently watched this movie like maybe 2 months ago. Big Trouble in Little China.
Yes.
Oh, that's Nathan's favorite movie.
Oh, there you go. It's like so much going on, and like the fantasy elements and like the humor. I think Big Trouble in Little China is much better, but it just kind of like if you like that, then check out
the poster.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
It's signed by John Carpenter.
That is super exciting. I'm making my way through his filmography, and
I told him that it was the best movie ever made.
Yeah.
I
don't know about that.
And he said, yeah, no, that's literally what he said. I don't know about that. So he agrees.
Jordan, have you gotten to They Live yet?
No, I want things to be on streaming, so I'm waiting for that one to be on streaming.
That's a good like climax to the marathon, rather than to have, because I'm kind of a John Carpenter aficionado. Like that's honestly, even though Big Trouble is my favorite, like They Live is probably his best movie.
So yeah, I'll get through some of the other ones first, and then I'll kind of leave that one towards the back.
Awesome. All right, great recommendation. I love it. Nathan, what have you got for me?
So I would say a movie that kind of that's more accessible, and kind of actually has the camp and so bad it's good, and actually is kind of fun and campy, and does what we wish it would have done is the 1980s Flash Gordon.
Flash.
Soundtrack by Queen. Yeah, it's you could run them back to back and think that they reuse some of each other's sets and costumes, but Flash Gordon is more cohesive. It's one of those movies I didn't grow up on. I actually grew up on more of the 1930s Flash Gordon stuff, so I kind of scoffed at the 80s silly version. It's the 80s Flash Gordon is almost like a musical, a rock musical where no one sings. It's the music itself that kind of becomes a rock musical, like the Queen music. But it's a lot of fun, and so it's kind of a better version of Masters of the Universe.
Should we review it for this podcast? I've never seen it.
I think so. Yeah, and I only saw it like maybe 4-5 years ago. So.
Oh, nice. I would love to see it, and we'll bring you both back to discuss it, and you can say whether or not it compares to Masters of the Universe.
Is there a Gwildor?
I was just
They have a Russian scientist. That's the closest to Gwildor.
Okay.
Okay.
There's kind of aliens, but there's not really aliens. They've got
I'm not
Hawkmen.
so concerned about aliens as I am
A Jar Jar, right?
Whatever
Yeah.
Gwildor was.
No, I would say no. There's not. There's Timothy Dalton.
Oh, I love Timothy Dalton.
A young Timothy Dalton, and then there's also Brian Blessed with hawk wings. So
Cool.
Interesting.
Cool.
yeah, who played Boss Nass? So it's kind of a Jar Jar connection, but not really. He's kind of worth it though.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I just realized while you were talking that this movie really reminds me of a better version of it, Ice Pirates.
Ice Pirates.
Yeah.
Ice
Yeah.
Pirates is amazing. If you
I
haven't
feel like-
seen Ice Pirates,
I feel like Ice Pirates is a slightly like lateral move.
yeah, that's not my deep cut recommendation. I'm just
Right, exactly.
realizing.
We're
I'm just realizing.
they're in the same shelf. They're in
Yeah.
the same shelf. Absolutely.
Yeah, their posters are next to each other in someone's living room for sure.
Yes.
But my deep cut recommendation, and Jordan, you actually touched on it, was that I immediately knew when Gwildor was like, I hate adventures, that my deep cut recommendation was going to be The Lord of the Rings. Because you got little guys who hate adventures and hate leaving their little hometown, being forced to go on an epic adventure. But at the opposite of He-Man, where we're saying He-Man needed less movie to be better, Lord of the Rings, you couldn't give us enough of that movie. We wanted extended cuts that were 4 hours long. We were like, more of this movie would make it a good movie.
Let's
So
watch
it's
all
the
three back to back.
exact opposite
Until
of,
the Hobbit.
until The Hobbit, yes.
The animated Hobbit movie, I got a little sad after Bilbo stole the ring from Smeagol. I'm like, oh, poor guy.
Yeah, poor little guy.
I was a very empathetic child.
Mm.
You were empathetic?
Yeah, it was empathetic but amped up,
Okay.
and not me
good.
doing a verbal flub.
Empathetic. Mhm.
Yeah, that's a thing I also say.
Empathetic.
Yeah, sure.
My accent came out, and I don't even know what my accent is.
All right, lovely. Well, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being with us here at the end. We are going to let you know where you can find us and friend us and follow us and do all that fun stuff. Let's start with Derrick. We've been starting with you. Let's start with you. Where can people find, follow, and friend you and support your work?
Yeah, so the biggest thing to support my work, if you follow on Instagram, Roll for Charisma Comedy, all one word. It is the D&D themed stand-up show where we assign abilities to performers that they have to roll dice, and then there's a whole table of punishments that they have to survive through their 10-minute sets. So Roll for Charisma Comedy on Instagram is how you can find me and the work that I'm doing.
Excellent. Awesome. And Jordan, where can people support you and the musical catering company?
Yeah, so we are at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater, first Friday of every month. We have an Instagram, which I believe is just Musical Catering Co.
It is.
Yes, very active on that. I of course I know that information. Yeah, first Friday of the month, we do about an hour and a half musical, all made up on the spot. It's a ton of fun.
It is a fun show.
It's great. It's great, and I love it. And you can definitely see it at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater, first Friday of every month. Go to nctphoenix.com for more details on that to come out and see us do that show. Nathan, where can people follow your filmmaking endeavors?
Yeah, so squishystudios.com. You can find our movies and web series and things like that. And our feature film, the last movie ever made, is on Amazon, Apple, and Tubi. So
yes, and it is worth watching, worth buying, worth owning.
Krissy's in it, as is Dorian's voice.
Yes.
So if you're a fan of NCT, then you can see them there.
Yeah, excellent. And so you can listen to me in other places on the Gank That Drank, a supernatural drinking game podcast, also a True Story FM product. But if you're here with us at the end and you're like, look, I need more of this quadruple powerhouse episode. You want to hear more from us. You want the bonus content, baby. You need to become a member. Go to truestory.fm and click on join, and you can become a member and you get episodes early. What? That's great. Early is amazing. You get them ad free. What? No ads at the top of the thing. That's wonderful. And you get the bonus content at the end. And I'm going to ask these cats, what is the worst movie or TV show or book that you love?
Oh.
Oh.
And mine's
right.
not going to be Masters of the Universe.
Okay. It's okay if it is, but you can get that on the bonus content and more. So thank you so much for listening. And when you're out there in the world, please keep the most excellent 80s movies podcast motto in mind. Be excellent to each other and party on.
Party on, dudes.